All right, well, to continue with our Blade review series, we go on to the fabulous and fucking awesome Blade 2. Now, Blade 2 is a bit of a different one, and it certainly took me by surprise by how fucking awesome it was, because it just is purely action and just awesome moments all throughout. And Blade 2 has some pretty cool acting choices in it, including the one and only Sir Ron Perlman himself. But back to the heart of the movie, and that is the amazing character that is Blade. He's in full display here, and what he kind of has is his own set of vampire freaks that he has to lead. Kind of my dream for what Blade 4 would be. But you know what? Honestly, the this movie, I remember seeing it way back when it came out in 2002, fucking over 20 years ago. And I just kind of, sequels, we were so inundated with awesome movies in the early 2000s, it was hard to keep up. And, you had things like Lord of the Rings, you had the prequels, you had the Matrix movies, you had Blade movies. There's just so many great movies coming out. And the movies that come out today are mostly bullshit, and it really goes to show how far we fell in terms of creativity. And I think that looking back on Blade 2 nowadays really makes you think that holy shit, this was a fucking awesome movie. And these types of movies are awesome. It just gives you everything you want in it. And as to the acting in this, it's got Lord Reedus, it's got Mr. Ron Perlman, it's got Wesley Snipes, and the whole cast of Miscreants is just incredible and is more than worth the watch. I would give this a solid 9 out of 10, and potentially in the realm of 8.5. It does have a dark, brooding effect to it. The new creatures that they fight, sort of like some type of vampire mutant type creature, virus type thing going on. But all around, it's just a really cool effect, and it gives Blade some new challenges and new fights along the way. And really, all you can ask for in a sequel is what this movie does. It expands upon the original. It bumps the action and scale up to a 10. And it's just overall, it's just a really great sequel. It didn't get the greatest reviews, but keep in mind that I like these movies because of the characters. And if you got Ron Perlman, Norman Reedus, and Blade as Wesley Snipes in it, you can't go fucking wrong with that. Now, the scene playing in the background is one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, and a very iconic scene in that, uh, in general. It's got just intense action. It's just wonderful soundtrack. That Colonel Freak song playing in the background. Ron Perlman cheering on all these soldiers. Blade breaking their heads in. It's pure gold, and I would encourage you to go watch it immediately just for this scene alone. It's truly incredible, and it's one of the highlights of the movie. As far as the scenes, there are parts in this movie where it goes a little slower. There is a little bit more darker, deeper themes. Some of the plot is a little bit messy, but overall, I mean, this scene is just fucking incredible, and I cannot fucking believe how awesome this was, and just a really good representation of how far we fell when it comes to movies, and especially superhero movies. Dear God. I mean, anything with Ron Perlman in it, I'll absolutely fucking love. But I mean, I was kind of hoping for a battle between these two, but in essence, these two battled out throughout the whole movie, and the square down went between them when Blade just quickly dispatches Perlman is incredible. And Norman Reedus is in this too, but he's a little bit of a side character. He's a little bit of a weasel in this, and it really goes to show how like he wasn't as big of a mainstay back then, and I didn't even remember he was in this goddamn movie. He really got his big break with Walking Dead. But I mean, Perlman was a legend all the way back in these times, and this is right around the times of, his breaking out of his career. So he's a little bit more memorable. But I mean, Blade still, Snipes still steals the absolute spotlight in this movie. Scene at the beginning with the club and the dancing and the dirtiness is thoroughly compelling. I mean, there's many, many, many compelling scenes in this movie. I believe it's called the House of Pain nightclub, and you really get a sense of how deep and brooding these movies are. And like, I mean, they need to release more movies of this caliber. I mean, it's got action, it's got corniness, but I mean at the same time, it's a really like dark and brooding film. Goes to show just how epic of a character the Blade is that it makes you just like this could be a mediocre movie, but I mean, I don't agree with a lot of the reviews and the Rotten Tomato scores of 50%, 5 out of 10s, just because, I mean, think about it. Blade is a fucking awesome character. He's got all these wicked gadgets. He's using them. He's got this. It is in essence the type of movie that's like that superhero type movie. You think the character is awesome. You want to see him in doing all kinds of awesome stuff, and he's more than awesome in this. So yeah, give us more fucking Blade. I mean, they're coming out with this new movie and they're thinking about replacing Snipes, and I don't even know if Snipes can by contract be involved in these films anymore, especially not Marvel with probably all the dumb bullshit that they have in their way. But it goes to, it's a hallmark of those early 2000s movies. They're just awesome. The effects are cool, the sets are cool, everything is just works so well, and at times is a little bit weird and a little bit new creatures are a little bit hard to understand what they're about. I mean, I guess you're kind of figuring it out along with the Vampire Squad, and I want to touch on the Vampire Squad because that's a brilliant idea. Blade's working alongside the vampires to fight a new vampire threat. I think that's an amazing idea. But I mean, the creatures are a little bit weird. They move around in a strange way. Um, they're just very non-human type of parasitic vampires, so to speak. And it's a little bit hard to follow at times, but I mean, you're kind of in there with Blade, and that makes it so epic. And seeing a young Reedus in his prime as, kind of a little bit of an unknown is an incredible thing. Pearlman and Reedus are like the secondary themes to these shows because these are characters that you absolutely love, and to see them in this just completely out there crazy film is pretty deeply interesting, really, to see. So as part of my series reviewing the great one and only Blade, this has been a great entry. What a fantastic. The third is a little bit more divisive for me, just purely because of Ryan Reynolds. But the first movie, incredible. Second movie, fucking awesome. These are solid movies. They're entertaining in a way that is very hard for modern movies to capture. They're just pure entertainment. You always want to look at what's going on. You always want to look at the different little gadgets and gizmos and scenarios these characters are found in. And the epic action scenes in this are fucking awesome. Blade 2 is a solid movie no matter what they say online. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes it just takes an awesome character to put him in any situation, and as long as it's moderately good, holy shit, we're in for a hell of a time. Just like what Blade says, some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. And practically anything with Ron Perlman in it is good, let alone Reedus and Wesley Snipes. So yeah, check it out. It's awesome.